Sometimes we have those random days. There are those days that we don't do anything. There are those days that we just keep ourselves busy. We have those day offs. We have those crazy late nights. But what if one day you had to save a dragon? And when you save that dragon, she shows your gratitude and becomes your maid. Imagine all the encounters you will have while having a dragon maid, teaching her the ropes on how to live in a society where she originally would go and obliterate, and teaching her how to live a daily life as a human. Well, we have the anime just for you.
What's up guys, I'm Christina.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to Average Anime Reviews, where we get to be reviewing some of our favorite animes that we have watched in the previous season.
Now before you start watching this review,
just so you guys know, there's going to be a few spoilers here and there in this review, so please take some precaution.
And this week's anime review is Kobayashi-san no Dragon Maid, which in English is
Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. And what this anime is all about, it explores the daily life of Kobayashi-san and her dragon maid Toru. Now, as Christopher mentioned in the beginning of this review, how Kobayashi-san and Toru met, well, Toru was still in her dragon form, which is her true form at the time, and she was injured, and for that, Kobayashi-san decided to help her heal with her injuries. After expressing that gratitude of kindness, Toru has done everything in her power to make sure that she repays that back. And for that, she decides to make a deal with Kobayashi-san, and that is to become her maid. For that, she has kindly accepted to move into Earth and live with the humans, and being able to learn what it's like to be human and learn how to deal with it to day-to-day life. Throughout the series, as you guys can see, along the way, some of Toru's friends have actually heard about it, and they want to see what it's like for themselves as well. In this anime, it also contains comedic reliefs, and it's quite hilarious to be honest. Because one thing's for sure, when it comes to Toru and her friends, well, they try to do some cool various stuffs, whether it's going shopping or cooking or even just hanging out. They're just trying to live their day-to-day lives while adjusting to Earth and with the humans. But when Toru's friends came to Earth to see what it's like for them as well, let's just say that they kind of had to get used to the standards and try to blend in and try not to scare everyone as much as they can if possible, especially showing them their true forms, which is dragon form. Because in some cases, in some parts of the anime, you can see what their true forms are like as towards being a dragon. And in terms of trying to open the door and see them for what they are, well, it can be pretty scary and at times hilarious too. And throughout the episodes, you can see what kind of endeavors these dragons go through, which includes being able to go to school, have fun, even go to the beach, or even just hanging out, or even doing something nice for the other people in the community.
So in this anime, there's various characters, or should I say various dragons, that are shown in this anime. And I'll start off with the only person that's non-dragon, which is Kobayashi. Now in the anime, she is an office worker. She's pretty much the adult in the group that pretty much keeps everything in order. And she's pretty much the most mature out of the group. She's definitely the most caring character in the entire series. But when she gets drunk, well, let's just say that's a whole nother story. And you really get to see a different side of her that you don't really get to see a whole lot. And when you do, well, it's pretty funny. She's very familiar with the maid culture, and there's various fashions and personalities, and the standards of how a maid should be. Teaching Toru the basics of how to become a maid is pretty funny. Now the other main character is the partner in crime, the maid, Toru. With Toru, she's the one that gets saved by Kobayashi, and she absolutely falls in love for her because in her past life, well, she's a dragon, so humans were basically trying to hunt them down and defeat them. Where to Kobayashi, she showed a change of heart. It changes Toru's views on humans. Now she's definitely an outgoing girl. She's always dressed up as a maid. A lot of the times when she goes in public, they mistake her as a cosplayer. She does her best to learn the ways of how to become a human and learn all the conventions that humans do. She's a very lovable character. The community loves her. The other dragons care for her. One thing I thought that was really weird about her is that she would cut her own tail off and then try to get Kobayashi to eat it. And that's pretty weird. Like, who cuts their tail off? if Kobayashi doesn't eat it, she eats it for herself, and then it grows back instantly. That's so weird. Just seeing the encounters that Kobayashi and Toru do together is just funny. You got Kobayashi trying to tell her, no, you can't do this. No, you can't lick my clothing instead of putting it in the washing machine. You don't need to obliterate the entire human race when something doesn't go right. Let's just say that these two together living in an apartment, well, there's all kinds of things that happen, and it's pretty funny. Now, there are other characters in the anime that come into play, like Kana, who's super sweet. She's a little girl, but she can be a badass dragon as well. She tries to be cool around everybody. She also has a cute monotone voice that you'll absolutely fall in love with. And out of all the dragons in this anime, she is the youngest one. And she's the one that goes to school. And when she goes to school, she meets the next character I'm going to talk about, which is Riko, who tries to show off to Kana all the time, because in reality she just really wants to impress Kana so they can be friends. And they do become friends. And while the encounters with them are pretty cute, there are those awkward moments that they have with each other, especially when Kana does something really cute. She absolutely melts at whatever Kana does. But not every moment. There's some moments that are like, why am I watching this? But it's still funny at the same time to watch. Now, there are other characters in this anime, but the characters that I mentioned are pretty much the key characters that you should look out for. But you also got Quetzalcoatl Fafnir, who's a pretty badass gamer, which I thought was pretty awesome. And with Quetzalcoatl, well, she's a very dainty character who has very large assets, where she's stuck with another character named Shota, who is always annoyed by her, because she always smothers him with love. And with love, well, her assets come in the way, and it's pretty funny. And the last character I'll be mentioning is Elma. Now, she's a mystical being for sure, where she doesn't want to disturb the humans in their day-to-day lives. But either way, she goes along with it because, well, she sees how the other dragons and Kobayashi live, and she just pretty much turns to the other side and just lives with them as well. And she also loves food. So overall, what did I think about the anime? Well, I thought it was alright. Just seeing the encounters of how dragons live in the human world is pretty interesting. All the encounters that they have, all the dragon things that they do in the human world, with their mindset of obliterating everybody in the human race, but at the same time living together, having dinner and playing video games, is pretty funny and interesting. What I couldn't really understand is with Toru, her anatomy with her tail, I just didn't understand, where is her tail connected to? Is it connected to her lower back? Is it connected to her butt? I'm wondering where her tail is positioned on her body when she's human.
Now, overall, what do I think of the anime? Well, it's pretty interesting. Now, when I first heard about this title, I thought it was involving some magical dragon, like fantasy type of battle from dragons against humans, but it turns out it's just a regular slice of life, and I find it to be really cool. I fell in love with Kana because she's so sweet and so adorable. But there's also some of the times where it gets pretty hilarious from there, especially with Fafnir when he first came to visit on Earth. Actually, to be honest, when Christopher and I first saw him, as soon as Toru opened the door, we were like, whoa, and it just ended up pausing the video in shock, laughing, in shock again, and then go back watching the anime, which I find it to be very jokes, and it's very hilarious too. If there's anything that I want for the anime to improve on, it's basically seeing more in depth of what the characters are like in their own world when they're not on Earth, and just seeing what their actual world looks like. Plus, I would like to see more about Kobayashi-san's life before she even moved, and before she even got a job, and before she even met her friends, aka the dragons. And overall, everyone, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.
If you saw the anime, what did you guys think? Do you think it was bad? Good? Who was your favorite character? Were you a fan of Kana and Riko as well? Whatever you want to say about the anime, feel free to leave it in the comments below.
And plus, if you guys really enjoyed this anime review, please give it a thumbs up. And plus, if you guys want to learn more about the synopsis and the characters and everything in between, I'll be sure to leave the link down below, as well as an anime review written by me.
Now, if you want to watch the anime for yourself, I'll be sure to leave a link down below for you guys to watch.
And once again, everyone, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time at the next average anime review. Take care!
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this week's average anime review. If you guys really enjoyed this week's anime review, then click that like button down below. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more anime reviews, then click that subscribe button down below. If you guys are new and want to see more anime reviews that we've done in the past, then click on the links on the left. And once again everyone, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a great day and take care.